Alright, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to make a sailboat by drawing with shapes in Adobe Illustrator. We're going to start with a print document, which we're going to set up at 11 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall. This one's at 10 by 10. Make sure when you set your size that you know what units you're using, and you might come up with something you did not expect. So I'm going to go with 11 by 8.5. I'm going to use RGB, lots of colors there. And here's my document. Now to begin with, I'm going to set my fill to a rough color gray, mainly so I can differentiate it from the background at this point. I'm going to make an ellipse, and I'm going to draw my ellipse like this. And just so I can see better, I'm going to zoom up a little bit. And I'm going to use the white arrow tool or the sub-selection, direct selection tool to choose these 2 points here, which I'm then going to, and from there I'm going to use the cut path at selected anchor points tool. So this one with the scissors on it, what this does is it's going to make 2 separate paths out of the path I originally had. So I'm going to take the top piece and delete it. Now I have the piece that's going to become the hull of my boat. Now you'll see the top doesn't have any line on it, so I'm going to go to the top 2 points, select them, right click and choose join. This is going to make me have a line around the top. Now I want to make this a little bit thicker, nice and visible, about 3 or 4 is good. And we're going to make this shape like a boat, not just a half circle, but we're going to move using shift and left arrow this point to the left. And I can mess around with this a little bit more if I want to, make it more boat shaped. Okay, so I'm trying to get a boat shaped boat here, ironically enough, and there's my hull. Next we're going to make the mast, and the mast is made from rectangle, and I don't want to have any stroke on around the edge of this, so I'm going to switch my colors, click, and I'm going to get rid of my stroke around the outside and draw a nice tall mast. And you can see as I did that I wound up accidentally, because I had still selected it, change the color on my hull. So I'm going to select the hull and go back to the color I want, just off white there. There we go. So now there's my hull and my mast. The last thing I'm going to make is I'm going to make my sail with a white fill and black stroke. I can click this button here to get that. Get the rectangle tool, crank up the stroke to about 3, and there's a mast, or a sail. Now I'm going to get rid of this point here by selecting it, and this time instead of using the cut path, I'm going to use remove selected anchor points. Click, and now it's shaped like a sail. Finally, I want to get some curve in here so it looks like it's full of wind, like I am, and I'm going to click on the convert selected anchor points to smooth, and what that does is smooths the corner from a corner to a nice smooth transition. So now what I'll do is I'm going to shape this a little bit, and I'm going to pull this way, and my goal is to create a nice sail-shaped sail. Should be curved on one side. Now it looks like it's full of wind. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 pieces, I'm going to move them around a little bit, work with this until I like what I see. Okay, and if I want to make another one, I'm going to alt drag right. I can flip it around by using object, transform, reflect, and now I'm going to size it a little bit. And this is what they call a jib in sailing. Jib is a sail on the front of the mast. And I want to add some curve to that one also, so I'm going to take this and change it like this. And I want nice and tight on the top. And there I go. So there's my ship. If I want to move this one to the back, by the way, when things are out of order, you can see that in the layers panel, if I open this up, I can see all the pieces. The one selected is right here. If I want to move that behind, I can drag that back. Like this. No, really. There we go. So I can always change the ordering of things. I can also do the same thing by using object, if it's selected, object, arrange, and send to back. So there's my boat in 5 minutes or less. Let's try the same thing with fish. So now with fish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ellipse tool again. And let's make this a proper colored fish. Maybe goldish. Sure. Something like that. So there's my fish. And I'm going to apply an outline to it of black. Maybe 2 points thick. There we go. So I'm going to use Alt and drag a whole bunch to make extra shapes. So what I'll do is I'm going to Alt, drag this over. And what I want to do there is make the tail. A couple of ways I can make the tail. And just to keep it simple for now, I'm going to choose this individual point with the direct selection tool. And make it sort of fish shaped. And I'm going to Alt drag the heck out of that one to avoid the trouble of making it again. And let's Alt drag it again to make the top fin. And one thing I'm going to introduce in this tutorial that we're not quite up to yet is the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is in the window menu. So I choose Pathfinder. There are several tools in here that work with different ways of combining shapes. This one is called Unite. So I'm going to take these shapes, all of them, box select them, and choose Unite. And now I've got one shape where I used to have several. Now if I want to add some more stuff to this, we can add a smile or some gills to it by doing a combination of these two pieces. Again, I'm going to use the Pathfinder tool. And this time, instead of Unite, I'm going to use minus front. So now I've got this shape here. And I can use the individual points to create more of the shape I want. And this is a very smiley, happy fish. And I'm going to rotate this around. So now I've got the fish actually frowning now, and if I want to add an eyeball to this, I'll use more shapes. Using the ellipse tool, set my colors back, use a nice eyeball, set my fill. Oops. When you're changing colors, make sure you don't have something selected. And here's another eye piece. Now to keep those together, I'm going to object group them, move the eyeball into place, and now there's my fish. To keep those all together, I'm going to use group again, object group, Control G. Okay, now clearly this fish is way too big for that boat. So if I take the fish, shrink it down, take the boat, scale it up, there we go. Other ways you could use to create the surface of the ocean and other places would be kind of fun to work with. But that's about it for now for drawing with shapes.